and welcome to another episode of Worst Collection Ever, presented by the Sideshow Network. This is the show where we tell you about the worst comic book collection in the world that just happens to belong to us. I'm Jen.
I'm Shawn.
And, yeah,
we're back in our house again. Just so
we're back to shouting at a laptop.
We'll be back in the studio, so we'll start sounding
we just couldn't
better.
Get in there this
we just didn't. Somebody was using it,
which is fine.
You know, so it's busy. It's a bit. Podcast business is busy.
Yes.
Podcast business is very hard.
Is it like the computer business?
The computer business is very hard. People are changing all the time. Yes.
Hi, podcast.
Oh, hi. See, that would be like the best Tommy Wiseau podcast. If he
hi, podcast?
Oh, hi, podcast.
You should get him on the phone.
Oh.
Pitch a podcast to Tommy Wiseau.
It would probably...
Hi, podcast.
Okay, I've read that book that is being made into a movie. The Disaster Artist.
That's right, I have to read that.
Which, it's a fantastic book. You know, it's written by the guy who plays Mark.
Yeah.
And
In the Room.
Sorry, we're talking about The Room.
By Tommy Wiseau.
Not Room, the Oscar-winning...
Yeah, no. This is the piece of shit cult movie called The Room, which is probably the worst movie ever made.
Yeah. So anyways, yeah, but I mean, I would never... Yeah, I would be like...
No.
Mortified. There are a few... Because there are a few people... I'm not going to get into it right now, but there are a few people when it's like, so-and-so's thinking about doing a podcast, and I just go, oh, fuck. Like, I get, like, deathly nervous.
Mm-hmm. Tommy Wiseau would be one of them.
And Tommy Wiseau would be one of them, because it would just, just the idea of being like...
He'd probably want to, like, tape it in, like, 8 different formats.
It would be one of those ones where it would be like...
Such a mess.
it would be a ridiculous mess, and I would probably quit the business. I mean, I would. I mean, I would. I just even thinking about it is awful.
Yeah, I gotta read that book.
I might have a nightmare about that tonight.
Cool.
Where I just wake up and because I often have nightmares about my work or just work in general. I also have dreams about work.
Yeah, and actually, most of the time when you talk in your sleep, you are actually scheduling something.
I'm scheduling work. I'm scheduling podcasts,
or you're introducing yourself to somebody.
Yeah,
this is
one of the legit. Well, I don't know wherever it is. This is one of the
window into our lives right now.
One of the legit things that happen when you work in the podcast business.
I think it just happens to you.
Oh, I think it happens to others. This is the first time somebody's admitting it. I bet Mark Maron has talky dreams.
Well, I've never had.
Where he's like, "Are we cool? Are we cool?" Sneeze. Pow!
I don't know. Let's call up one of his ex-wives and ask him how it's going. Does he do his podcast in his sleep? Because Shawn often books shit in his sleep.
I'm sure Chris Hardwick's probably just like, burrito, you know.
It's weird.
You know, as he sleeps on his money.
This is my life, you guys.
Somebody please draw a picture of Chris Hardwick sleeping on a pile of money, softly saying burrito. Burrito. Anyways.
Yeah.
So, one of these days, I think we might be sleeping on our comics.
Well, yeah, if we get so goddamn many of them.
I feel like I kind of was looking around our house today.
It's going to be like a hoarded bullshit.
And again, I think I don't know if I referred to this at all, but there was a Playboy magazine commercial that would air like on like VH1. Okay. And it was like with like a guy, I felt he was like a celebrity, but he looked like your kind of guy. He wasn't like, he was like he was a dignified older white man who subscribed to Playboy, and he had so many of them that he was just like, hey, I live the bachelor lifestyle, and and I have Playboy, and it's pretty cool. And for some reason, though, he kept them like some of the magazines in his fridge. Like, he just goes to his fridge, it's like, time to get a drink. Oh, look, Miss December. Oh, yeah. Puts it back in his fridge. I have to actually find it. I swear seeing this. There are a number of things in my life.
You know what? I feel like I remember that guy going in the fridge and there being a magazine there.
And that's how I feel like what's going to happen with our comic collections one day. I'm just going to be like, Questprobe #1.
No. Because we can't. We literally cannot. No. No. I'm not. No, I'm not.
You're not on board with keeping the comics in the fridge?
No,
okay.
I'm not on board with them taking over our living space. I like to be able to walk through rooms and not trip over shit. I'd like not to be on, like, the...
I want to dive into them like a pile of leaves.
I don't want to be on the reboot of Hoarders, and they're like, look at all these flat cats underneath all these comic books. Like, I don't want that to happen.
Like, they were just so cheap. It was like 25 cents, and, you know...
And it's just like us in, like, a nest of fucking comic books, and, like, then they fall on us, and then they find them, and then we're on the news... And then they're like, you know, couple dead under massive thing, you know, massive...
El Segundo couple.
Actually,
oh.
Speaking of, so here's a really horrible story about Hoarded House. This actually was from a Hoarded House, like, back in the...
Oh, is this what, I think you're going to tell me about this. I heard you tell me about this. About how the guy died in a Hoarded House, and then, like... Because he had to crawl through, like, a channel.
Yeah. And this, I think this is from a...
It's from a podcast you listened to. Somebody, it was like this. You must remember this or something.
No, it wasn't on this. You must remember this because this was about a house in New York. I think I read about it because it was like they had ripped it down and there's like a little park there. Anyway, so it's like there were two brothers. They lived in this house. Their parents died, whatever, and they were just hoarders and they were horrible. But they were paranoid about, like, the government coming in for them or whatever.
As you would be, yes.
So they had booby-trapped the whole house.
Oh, yeah, that's right, the booby-traps.
One of the brothers was really sick, and I think he actually, like, lost a leg or something, so he was immobile, and he was in a room, and his other brother would crawl through these, like, elaborate tunnels to, like, bring him food and shit. Well, one day, one of the brothers, the one who was crawling through the tunnels, triggered... one of his booby traps, and he died.
Yeah.
Well, the other brother just had to lay in that bed until he starved to death.
Yeah.
And then they came in to find him, and it was just like so much junk. They didn't even realize there were two bodies in it. That's how much junk there was. And then it was so bad they had to rip the house down. So I don't want to be that.
Just covered in Questprobes.
Which is our first book.
Yes. I'm trying to. Yeah, I was implying that we are reading Questprobe today.
Questprobe. Now, you know what? I think I'm responsible for this one. I think I bought it.
Well, you bought it because the thing about you when you buy Marvel comics is you look at it and you go, stupid, and then you buy it.
That's true.
But then you read it, and usually it's usually
I'm not wrong about them being stupid.
Oh no, it's stupid. This is actually like if somebody looked at our collection and was like, ew, you have this.
Yeah, no.
Like, or why do you have... Like, why?
It's Questprobe featuring the Hulk #1.
And it is the only issue of this, because, okay, so basically...
Are you serious? This is
yeah. Okay, listen. No, listen. No, listen, you know why?
Story.
No, you know why? No, you know why?
Continue.
Because, so basically, Questprobe is a computer game. Like, it's a legit computer game.
Okay.
Created by this Scott Adams guy. It was supposed to be like Marvel being like doot tech, back in the early 80s. This is like so because this is okay. So this is Questprobe featuring the Hulk from Questprobe featuring the Hulk #1 from August 1984. Okay, and this guy Scott Adams, it was like some sort of like wonderkind video game programmer. And he created, like a number of games. And he was going to create this game. He created this game called Questprobe. And it was tied in with all these Marvel characters, And so particularly there was a game for Spider-Man. There was a game for, like, Human Torch and The Thing or something. And there's supposed to be like an X-Men one. But basically, and there's supposed to be like 12. Like, if you read the back of this, it actually kind of goes into it.
Oh, okay.
How it's going to be like, oh, this is going to be like a big... ongoing thing and a bunch of series. Like there's just a whole bunch of text here,
right?
And they were going to create a number of issues of these, and it never came through.
Well, did like the game not get made?
No, the game got made. So the game
did it tank?
Well, no, the company went bankrupt.
So
they were basically Marvel was just I mean, and it's funny because so basically all this because it was tied in with the Marvel universe somehow, but it really once the game went away, they said fuck it, and actually I don't remember this as much, but elements of Questprobe showed up again in the Marvel universe in Quasar.
Oh.
Which I don't remember. I have to pinpoint exactly where it shows up, but So basically, it's fucking nerdy as shit.
It's a little bit of a ridiculous book.
Well, it's just stupid.
It's stupid.
It's stupid in the game. I don't even know what the game is. It's like, I don't care.
Know. There is a little blurb in here where it's like, if you want to see what happened, go play this game.
Yeah, because you're supposed to play this game and read the comic at the same time. And if you had an Amiga or whatever, you could do that. But because it was one of those text-based games, it's like, you see, this dipshit. What do you want to do? Punch Hulk? Or, this or that or the other thing? So you're supposed to do that, and it just sounds very, I know this is all you had back in the 80s.
Right.
But,
yeah.
Fuck if I care.
All right, well, let's talk about it.
Let's talk about the book, though. First of all, Questprobe featuring the Hulk. Number 1. On the cover, it's the Hulk, and he looks very bored. Actually.
He does, actually.
He looks very bored.
Considering, his face is bored, but his body is, in an action pose.
Yeah, he's reaching towards some jewels.
Yeah.
Which apparently are essential to this world of the game. Yeah. And in the background is a dude with a fro who you don't really see his face.
Kind of. He's like a faceless guy.
He's a faceless guy.
In this costume, he's got, a bubble on his head.
Yeah, so he's like one of the space guys, and that's what you're seeing on the cover, so whatever.
So
real quick, I've seen this one before too. It's an advertisement about a kid who has a shitty computer games, and so because all the friends are all these kids are like, oh, you wish you had all these good games and you don't have them, and they're like, he apparently has games called Manholes of Venus, which.
Again, another porn title.
Another porn title that left unused. Anyway, so Questprobe, exclamation point.
So basically, just to break down this 4 or 5 page fucking beginning, which is stupid.
Yeah.
So there's this race of people and aliens, and apparently their hair is made out of stars, but it makes them look like they have star afros, which is actually kind of cool.
Yeah.
So he's got a star afro, and some other world is coming towards their world.
Well, they also have star goatees.
Star goatees. And so some other species is coming towards their world, and they're going to destroy it. But these people are pacifists.
Yeah.
So they're not going to fight back. And then this one guy's like, but the olden days, we used to fight back. And they're like, that's against, what we do here on random Star-Fro planet. So he's like, ugh. So he gets kicked out of their little assembly.
Yeah, they get really pissed at him, and I'm like, dude, your plan's gonna die.
Yeah, but they're like, but we don't do anything. We're nonviolent. And so he leaves, and he's like, oh, if only I could harness the power of the gods from the olden days. There must be somewhere in this universe where I can get the power.
There's got to be a better way.
Yeah. So cut to Hulk in the desert getting shot at by cannons.
Because, okay, this actually was kind of funny. So, okay, well, first of all, so apparently they're chasing him around because apparently he's too close to he's apparently too close to people. And cause I don't know what the
civilization.
He's too close to civilization, and I don't understand what the Hulk is just doing in the first place, just hanging out.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Hang on. We're gonna talk about this for a second. So we're watching.
Well, no, we have cats.
Yeah.
And I don't know if anybody who has cats knows this, but they have what's called TV for Cats on YouTube, where you can put birds and shit on your TV, and your cats will just stare at them. And we have one of the cats who really likes to do that, so it's muted in the background, so we don't have to watch wrestling. And one of the videos just popped up, and it was just a bald eagle, just pulling feathers off a dead duck, and I was like, "What the fuck has happened?"
And I was like, "This isn't a video for cats. This is not a video for anybody.
It's a video for cats. It's just a bald eagle eating all the things."
Guys, be careful.
Be careful on those TV for cats videos. So anyway,
the Hulk's near humanity, and they're like, we gotta get you away. But apparently, the army, anytime the Hulk shows up, and the army mobilizes pretty damn quick.
Yeah, it's like they have a Hulk unit.
Well, I feel like they do. because General Thunderbolt Ross, his greatest nemesis, is the head of the Hulk Busters per se. So anytime shit's going down, there's a million. Somehow they get these tanks into like the Grand Canyon.
Yeah.
Which it looks like.
And they've got they've got 3 tanks, 3 fucking jets in the background, plus a whole platoon full of soldiers. Like, that's a lot of fucking money just to corral one dude.
Well, they're just shooting at him.
And Hulk just like, leave me alone. I just want to be left alone.
They're like, I'll go. But the thing is, though, I guess they're trying to find a way to reason with him.
Well, it's the Hulk. They should give him puppies. Doesn't he like puppies?
He likes anything but
being shot at, which understandable. So Hulk's like breaking tanks and whatever, and he's getting angry. And then all of a sudden, faceless guy, who we're assuming is Star-Fro, shows up. And he's like, look at the power of the Hulk.
He's like, oh yeah.
Oh, that's amazing. Oh, I'm going to jerk off to this power.
Oh yeah.
So, the Hulk is he's ruining, like, billion-dollar jets.
Yeah, like he's ripping apart a tank and throwing it at a jet.
The amount of tax dollars we spend on Hulk control is ridiculous. That's something we could probably cut out of the old budget.
Yeah, no, and he is just laying waste to it, and then...
Yeah, to the desert, to the rocks, shit's falling, rocks are falling on soldiers.
He's bringing the Grand Canyon down around everybody.
Yeah, it's bad. So then, all their equipment's been smashed by rocks, and the soldiers are like, meh. Well, and the Hulk, I don't know where the Hulk went, he ran off. And then faceless Star-Fro guy's like, hey, I'm gonna get his power, and... everybody's like, what the fuck? And he just disappears. He
literally shows up behind these guys. He's like, hey guys. And he's like, who are you? Get out of here. And they're like, he's like, I'm going to get the Hulk. It's like, yeah, good luck. And he's like, I'm going to do it with...
He's like, what the fuck? This is a fucking cosplay convention, bro. Get out of here. This is the fucking active battle zone.
And he's got like this weird, like, Star-Fro's got like this weird, like, box. Or like device that he's like, I'm going to do it with this.
Honestly, at one point I thought it was a crab.
It looks like a crab.
There's a point later where I honestly thought it was a crab, and we'll get there. I'll show you. Yeah, because it's weird. It has like little like thingies that stick out of it, and it kind of looks like crab.
Yeah. So anyway, so Hulk shows up and he goes to like this cave or whatever, and he comes in, and it just happens to be this cave where there's these 2 gems. Where one's called a Natter Energy Egg. Can I offer you an egg in this troubling time? Yeah. Hulk. And another one is a Biogem.
Now, were these put here by Star-Fro?
I don't know, but it's a part. It's a part. Something to do with part of the game. So at some point,
I know it's part to do with part of the game, but they don't really explain why they're here. They don't explain if it's Star-Fro put them there to like draw Hulk in, or if they just happened to be there for some other reason. That's not explained. All you have to know is here's these cool gems that you'll see in this game.
This is game, and you'll be like, grab gem, or fart on gem. I would just write fart gem.
That's kind of like I tried to do that on Scribblenauts, and it doesn't want you to do that.
Yeah, that's bullshit.
Because the first thing I did was when I got the Scribblenauts game was tell Batman to get naked, and he just got mad at me. And he
goes, why would I want to do that?
What good would that do? I was like, damn it, Batman.
Dude, mind you, this is a game where you can make them pregnant and then eat their babies. Yeah. You can make Batman...
Then once they have a baby, they're postpartum Batman.
And then you could take the you could just murder the babies or eat them.
Yeah. You can't make them kiss, though. I tried. I kept trying to make Batman kiss.
You can make them sick. You can make them fat. Invisible.
Fat, everything. But you can't make them kiss. And you can't make them naked, which is such a shame. I mean, obviously, this game.
It's like they knew that you were trying to be stupid with this game.
Yeah.
Anyways,
they did.
So, the Hulk's sitting in this cave,
and the gems explode, and then when they explode, they like knock him unconscious, and he turns back into Bruce Banner, and then he's a human, and like Star-Fro is like, oh, look at that, he's just a frail human. And then finally Hulk, he wakes up, Bruce Banner wakes up, and Star-Probe's standing there like by this glowing door, basically.
He keeps showing up with this glowing like plate door.
Yeah, it's like a portal, and he keeps wanting Hulk to run through it because that will steal his power. Yeah. Because this guy's like, I need a lot of power, so I'm going to steal it from the Hulk. Which I don't think that's actually the best idea, because...
Well, Hulk's the strongest one there is. I mean, if you're going for the best power... You know,
really? But
yeah, no, yeah. I mean, I'm on board with this.
Wouldn't you want to steal like Storm's power?
She's not nearly as strong as the Hulk. The Hulk,
yeah, but she can control weather.
I don't think that matters. He just needs.
That matters to me.
Yeah, but I mean, he's not looking for somebody to make it sunny.
Well, he's not going to make it sunny. He's going to make it so fucking impossible for those ships to navigate to their planet.
He doesn't know that. I mean, maybe he goes to realize that because there was supposed to be an X-Men one. But in this particular case, he is like, here's the Hulk. He is literally the strongest being, in this universe. I will grab his juice.
All right.
And so he goes for it. So I'm on board with this. Anyway, so Bruce wakes up.
Cyclops with the zappy eyes. Or
something. I mean, we'll Cyclops or Wolverine or something. Like, I get it. Or Colossus. I mean, we're talking powerful guys, like. That's what he should be going for. Yeah.
Anyway, so he's like, go through this portal so I can steal your power. And, of course, Bruce Banner wakes up and he's like, I don't know what the fuck you're here for. And so many people have tested me. I'm angry. So he throws a rock at Star-Fro. And then he just charges out the door of the cave and off a cliff.
Yeah.
Because he wasn't paying attention, apparently. So he falls like a bajillion feet.
He falls into the Grand Canyon, essentially.
Yeah, but because he's, the Hulk, he doesn't die. He turns into the Hulk.
Yeah.
And then the Hulk is mad. And so he's like, I'm not going to jump through your stupid door, but I'm going to fight you. So that's basically what happens. And as they're, like, jumping at each other, we have...
some hippies.
A bunch of people who are going to go whitewater rafting on the Colorado River.
Is this where it looks like a crab?
Yeah.
He's like, I'm going to take you to a Red Lobster, you ass.
Yeah. These people don't...
This door goes to Red Lobster, which would be great, because of the rock, the Hulk would be like, Hulk and Red Lobster, just like, here's some cheddar biscuit.
Baked biscuits.
Cheddar baked biscuits. He'd be like...
baked biscuits or whatever they're called.
He's like, do you have beans? And Hulk would just eat those, and that would be the end of the book.
Yeah, it's a great book.
Yeah.
Could you do that in the video game? Could you be like, I want to go to Red Lobster in my video game?
Go to Red Lobster. It's like, you can't do that.
What good would
it's
that
do? It's not Questprobe Red Lobster.
Why?
Why not?
Why not?
Why can't I get this as a part of my part of Shrimp Week or whatever the fuck they have?
Shrimp Week?
Yeah, they have like the shrimp or all you can eat shrimp and you get a free Questprobe Red Lobster game.
You should bring that back, babe. You really should be marketing.
I should really be marketing. He's like, we bring back Amiga games.
You should be like, all right, this is how it's going to go, and we're going to give people free Questprobe games when they come in.
I'm just going to walk in with this comic book just to wherever Red Lobster's headquarters are and just be like, this is the answer to all of our problems. And I'll just say, I'll expect my check on the way out.
Yeah. Good job, babe.
Yeah. So anyway, so these hippies are...
they're not hippies. They're just people...
Okay, anybody that's rafting is hippies.
Do you know how big White Rat? You can go on tours and shit. Like you can go with a group. These people are not going with a group, but usually you go with a group who has guides and they take you over the rapids.
The one guy looks like Ryu from because he has like a red headband and he looks like he's got like the sleeveless vest and everything.
Yeah,
and he looks like Ryu from Street Fighter.
Yeah.
Yeah. So these fucking hippies.
Yeah. Well, this was big in Colorado.
Yeah.
You can imagine. Again,
well, they're in the Colorado River.
Yeah, but that goes all the way out.
No, that's true.
So they don't have to be in Colorado, but so they're like, oh, we're gonna go down these rapids, and there's only one woman, and she's like, I don't know, I heard the Hulk was around, and that might be dangerous or whatever.
They're like, you dumb woman,
and they're like, I don't even think Hulk is real, so obviously that guy's the dumb one. So they get in the raft, and then Hulk is just like smashing water and making it fall on Star-Fro, and
he's like, make it rain.
Yeah, make it rain, bitch. And then, so basically, there's Hulk getting thrown underwater, and the raptors eventually come up, and then the Hulk is underwater, and he just rips a pillar of rock out of the.
He grabs the fucking cliff.
Yeah.
Just to throw it at this Star-Fro in his crab.
And so he, jumps out of the water or whatever, and he smashes Star-Fro against another rock. And Star-Fro, see, there's where I thought was a crab too.
Oh, yeah, well, it makes sense, yeah.
That's the thing, I thought that guy was like, oh, I thought there was just a crab watching him trapped by a rock. Gotta laugh. So
it's Sebastian the crab under the sea.
So Hulk is like, haha, I'm not going to go through your door. But the problem is that big piece of rock is now blocking the river, and the Raptors just ran right into it because they can't avoid it. And so they fall out of their boat.
He murders hippies.
So they all fall out of their boat, which is extremely dangerous. And Hulk happens to notice that one of these people is a woman.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, I got to save that lady. And all these other hippies.
There is a girl with the puny humans, girl who will drown unless Hulk saves her.
Luckily, he also saves the dudes. And then
he saves Ryu.
And then Star-Fro gets free, and he's like, oh, my crab. And so he grabs his crab off the ground. And then Hulk goes to jump into the water to get this girl, and
she's in a whirlpool.
She's stuck in a whirlpool.
Which is funny, because it'd be funny if she's like...
all you see is her arm.
Well, it's funny because, so they go, look, she's in the whirlpool, as if, instead of a whirlpool...
It's such a weird word.
Whirlpool. So he's like the whirlpool, like it's like a hot tub.
Yeah.
And before he just cut her, and she's
it's
like
a dishwasher.
She's just in the dishwasher.
It's the brand of dishwasher.
Hulk save dishwasher.
Save that woman from the dishwasher. So Hulk jumps right into the water, but Star-Fro's like, oh, I get it. I'll just put this portal right where he's going to jump through it, and it'll steal his power. That's exactly what happens, and strips his power. And then as he's going
it doesn't strip him of his power.
No, not all of it, but it does take some of it. Where is the thing? There's it's like if you... Hold on, let me see. Oh, it's up here. To see where the Hulk really went when he jumped through this portal.
Yeah.
Play the video game.
Gotta play the fucking game, guys.
So it's took some of Hulk's power, and he's like, oh, I'm so weak and I can't hold my breath, whatever, but he still saves the girl.
Yeah.
And jumps out of the water.
Yeah, he does pretty good.
And he gives the girl to her stupid hippie friends.
Puny humans.
And
take girl, make her live.
Yeah, because she's obviously, dead. So they perform mouth-to-mouth.
Artificial respiration right away. It's like...
mouth to mouth, and
I know, but it's just the kind of the way they have to, the way to say that. It's like, I will breathe into her, whatever. It's just like
nobody says start CPR.
Yeah, I will start it right away, Hulk man.
Yeah. So she lives, and then Star-Fro is like, well, thanks for the power, Hulk. I'm out.
Yeah, he's like, thanks, bro. I needed that.
You can go do whatever you got to do. And so Hulk, catapults away.
Well, it's funny because they talk about how it's not long after the Hulk feeling his power returning made uncomfortable by the gratitude and praise of the Raptors. So they're like, thanks, guys. And he's like, he's being, exactly like he's got anxiety.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
He feels uncomfortable. He's social anxiety. I get it.
Yeah, I get it, man.
He's not comfortable with groups, and he's not comfortable getting, positive attention, so... he just jumps away, and Star-Fro's like, peace, and he jumps, and that's it. The end.
Star-Fro's gone, and then he saved the hippies, and all is right in the world. So that's this
was supposed to continue, apparently,
for a year.
With that guy probably sucking out more power, so then he could fight those things on his own planet.
Because he was going to get he was going to do it to. I think there's one with a Thing and one with Spider-Man, so he finds all them, and he probably gets all their juice, and then he probably was supposed to get the X-Men at some point. Right,
and then he was supposed to probably take all that power and go back and fight all those things coming towards his planet. But that never happened. This was the only issue. So he just literally... there
was other issues of this. Not of this of him and the Hulk, but other issues.
I'm talking about... I thought you said when this was the only one, that you meant this was the only Questprobe, because it's a number one.
No, it's...
But there's a Questprobe featuring...
There's a Questprobe featuring the Hulk. There's a Questprobe featuring Human Torch and Thing.
Right, so that might be number 2 or whatever, right?
No, it's not numbered like that. It's just they're one-shots.
That's weird, because it says at the top, Marvel Comics Limited Series. So you'd think that...
Or maybe it is. You know what?
It would make more sense if it was Questprobe featuring, and then, a different hero each time. The Hulk, the Thing, Fantastic Four...
Well, maybe it is. Maybe it is.
X-Men,
I don't know. It's just...
Wolverine, whatever it is. And then, then it would be, an 8-issue series.
Well,
Which would make more sense because as he gains all this power, which he's trying to do, so he can.
Well, there are more of these that do exist. So you will see if you do look for them, you can find them.
Well, I don't want to look for them.
I'm not going to. Hopefully, I'll never see one.
So
of these
would you read this again?
Would you read this particular one again?
Would you read the next issue of this book?
Oh, I don't care. No. It's too fucking. I mean, look, I'm a geek. You know, and I'm not just saying I'm a geek in the terms of popular. It's like I'm a loser who like
I suck, you guys. I fucking blow.
I'm a bonafide dweeb who's into like
you are
wrestling and Red Tornado and dumb shit that nobody else cares about.
It's true.
And I this doesn't interest me in that realm. So fuck it. I don't know why I sound so angry at it.
You really do. You really sound very angry at this book. What did it do to you?
I don't know. It didn't do anything. It just kind of...
Show me on the book where it touched you.
It's the part where he scans the Hulk and you see part of the Hulk's crotch.
This one's not as crotch heavy as some of the other books.
Oh, well, no. I mean, yeah, it's no Nick Fury Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. starring Batch McGee.
Quick, jump on the panel. Crotch first. All right.
That's how the artist starts, just drawing dick first.
I think that's literally the entire artistic direction behind Nightwing.
Probably. It's like, how's this panel look? Well, let's put his dick wherever his dick
ass
is.
or crotch first. So draw that first, and then like
where the lines lay is where the rest of the page goes.
It's the focal point of every page.
This is how we write. This is how we do this book, guys. Yeah, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. I like it. Mm-hmm. Anyways, yeah, would you read another one of these?
No, I don't care.
Yeah. Who cares?
Boo.
Boo earns.
Boo earns.
All right, that's it for this one. We'll go on, come back with our next one. All right, we're back here at Worst Collection Ever, here on Sideshow Network. And we are here with our next one. It is a book about AIDS. It's a book
about
blow, cocaine.
We're not kidding either. That's not us just being like, oh, we're joking about AIDS and coke. No, this book is literally about cocaine and AIDS.
It's literally, that's the most of it. Like it's not just like a thing where you're like, hey, look in the background, that guy's got coke or that guy's got AIDS.
Or like, oh, it's an amorphous drug. We're going to pretend it's cocaine because we think we're funny. No, it's cocaine.
Straight up. It's The New Guardians, #2 from October 1988. DC Comics.
Yeah.
On the cover, it says Jungle Snow, and it shows a bunch of
dead guys.
Bunch of the Guardians and a bunch of people, a bunch of random dead guys.
So since this is #2, they don't go through a lot of like naming all of these people.
Well, I know who they are.
Well, tell me who do we have here on the cover.
So on the cover we have fuck, I forgot their names.
That guy's like Ram.
Okay, so this guy. Okay, so there's Ram.
Right.
Okay, so basically. The New Guardian... Okay, so I'm going to try to give this as quickly as possible because I spent too much time talking about Questprobe. New Guardians are basically... There was the Millennium crossover in DC Comics, and after the Millennium crossover, there needed to be like a succession, like the new... There were no more, apparently, no Guardian, like the Guardians of the Universe, the blue guys or whatever. So the Zamorans were like, we need a team. We need a team of like... New Guardians, hence the name, and we'll just grab like a bunch of random people, of diverse people,
we'll throw in
and we'll give them powers, and we'll do they're gonna be the New Guardians, and they're gonna be responsible for for like ensuring the evolution of the human race.
Okay.
Right. So
I don't know if that's worth it.
It's totally not. Well, obviously it wasn't because a bunch of them got AIDS. Some of them.
I mean, just the evolution of the human race. I don't know if that's worth it.
No, yeah.
I don't know if we deserve it.
Yeah.
So anyway, we have name is Ram.
We have Ram, who is made out of.
He's like he's like a cyborg guy, but like with more circuits.
Yeah, he's basically made out of a bunch of organic circuitry, and he's pretty much invulnerable, and he's got a bunch of enhanced abilities.
Yep.
There is Bliss. This is a Gloss. Excuse me, Gloss. Whatever.
What the fuck's her point?
I don't know what she does, but she's got like just a random blotch on her leg. Like that's not like the thing. That's like
like a tattoo or something.
Or something. I forgot. And I just read about this on the DC Wiki, and I still don't remember.
Yeah.
That's all.
So she has like some sort of like power.
Okay, so
There's Harbinger.
There's Harbinger, who actually most people know who she is because she was a very much a focal point in Crisis on Infinite Earth. So she's a part of this group.
And we've read books with her before.
Have we?
Yeah.
Which one?
I'm trying to remember, but I feel like
she was in the Wonder Woman, maybe.
Maybe I think that's right.
Or she's been in stuff.
She showed up in something.
Yeah, she kind of like was a big deal back in the around this, and this is them just trying to use her, and then she kind of just went away.
Yeah.
There is I forgot his name.
Some mystic guy.
Yeah, no, I forgot his name. Goddamn Bueno or something. Fuck me. Whatever.
Yeah, whatever.
He's a magician. And he's also, get this, the first openly gay superhero.
I was going to say that because they do allude to that later.
Right, but it's like apparently he is like the first openly gay superhero in comic books, predating North Star, who existed before him but came out as gay much later. But yeah, this is the guy. He's the gay guy. And then there's...
I didn't know who this was. At times I thought it was Fire because of her hair.
It's not Fire.
But it's not.
I just look at their name.
Oh, it's
Jet. Her name is Jet.
So but she looks like Fire because she has flame hair.
Well, right, but she doesn't have flame power. She just basically has... Oh, no, wait. Okay, so Wait, there's another girl, too, isn't there?
No, that's it.
Is this...
There might be another girl. No, that's it.
Okay, we'll get you... I'm sorry. Gloss... Okay, so I figured out what Gloss does. Gloss has, like, control over, like... electromagnetic wave powers that you can't see. Just it's a complete most bullshit. Like
they're bullshit powers.
It's a bullshit thing.
Yeah,
and this Jet woman has control over.
I don't even know what
some
she does.
sort
I don't
of
think it matters.
Some sort of fire force or whatever, but she doesn't actually shoot fire. But her hair it looks like she has like multiple like fire mohawks.
Yeah, and then you have an Ent.
Who?
An Ent.
Who's Ent?
From Lord of the Rings. Remember the trees? That's what that guy is.
Well, you know who this is.
No, I don't know who that is.
That's Floronic Man.
Who the fuck is Floronic Man?
Jason Woodrow from... okay. He is... I feel like he's been in Batman stuff. That's maybe I've assumed that you knew who he was.
Maybe. I don't think I've...
Well, you know why? Because Jason Woodrow, the character, was Pamela Isley's boss in Batman and Robin.
The movie.
The movie.
Oh, yes.
He is not Floronic Man here, and he's been around forever. Like Jason Woodrow, the Doctor, and then eventually, being a Floronic Man, he's been around for since 1962. He debuted in the Atom books.
Sure.
So yeah,
he's an Ent.
Right. So
he's a tree man.
Tree man. Anyways,
so New Guardians are in the forests of Columbia, the jungle. Columbia. And they're like, this is all being narrated by Wizard Guy.
Wizard.
We're gonna call him
Enron.
You mean like the company?
He's got some name.
They say it later, but he's Wizard Guy, like the wizard.
We're awful at this.
We are terrible at this. This is other people do research. We just wing it. So they're there and they're like, oh no, here we are. We've been chosen. But we might not survive the day because who are we standing in front of but a guy in a red costume who calls himself Snowflame. Now let me explain a little bit about what I'm looking at with Snowflame. This is a tall white guy with Magneto hair.
Oh yeah, he's got that's pretty good at description.
With white mask drawn onto his face, so it kind of looks like a starburst. His outfit is red, and it has no sleeves. It has a belt, and then it has what look like snow boots because, obviously snow flame. Yep. But he's like, "All right, you freaks, turn around, get out of here!" And everybody's like, "Wait a second, this guy's high."
Oh yeah, even Jet, who's a Jamaican woman, she's like, "He's high, man."
Yeah. And they're like, he's high, and they're like, and he's like, all right, I am Snowflame. This is what he says. I am Snowflame. Every cell of my being burns with white-hot ecstasy. Cocaine is my god. So this guy's power is literally derived from cocaine.
He gets high as shit.
And then he punches people.
Yes.
And there are points too where he gets like really like jacked up, like the cocaine really like kicks into high gear, and he just talks, and there's no spaces between.
Yeah, because he's talking because he's on coke. You see, this is 100%. Because
I was just like, this guy doesn't talk enough to be a dude on cocaine, but no, he does.
You want to know something too? Okay, so this is around the time.
Yeah, when is this from? Did we ever say?
October 1988.
Okay, I'm just checking.
This is around the time when DC was producing the suggested for mature readers format. Like the new format, like, and there'd be some books that would have that label.
This doesn't have it.
And this one doesn't fucking have it.
This one should have it.
If anything should have it. And here's the thing, and we'll get to this in a second. From issue 1, it should have had it.
Yeah.
It should have been, it should have been the entire run. Like, I mean, this is before, it is fucking insane.
Yeah, we just have to say also that we found this issue in a box for a quarter.
Oh yeah, that's right. This is the quarter, and I think we almost found the full run.
Almost.
I think almost the full run was there, but we really just wanted to get this one because we read about it somewhere.
Heard about it, yeah.
And I was very fortunate to come across it.
We have to find it. If there's one book that's tailor made for our collection, it's this fucking book, and then we found it in a quarter box. That was a great day.
It's worth a quarter.
Oh my god, no! This book is so fucking stupid. So Snowflame starts punching Ram.
Yeah, Ram and Snowflame start biting each other, and he's like, Snowflame just won't shut the fuck up he's on coke.
Because he's on coke, so he's got to talk to you. He's that guy. He's like,
I'm so tough, I'm so great. I'll fucking
only
kick
thing
your
you
ass.
don't see is his jaw, like moving back and forth.
Yeah, no kidding.
Which they should have just drawn in, but they didn't. So everybody's just watching these two fight. And
I think at one point he just punches him in the stomach a million times.
Yeah, he's like, I can't feel it because I'm on coke. Like, doesn't matter what you do, I'm on cocaine.
Cocaine is a hell of a drug.
It sure is. This guy is James Brown at this point. He's just like invulnerable.
He's Rick James.
Rick James. So he wins.
Yeah, he wins and he knocks them out. And here's where he is, where he's like, I have a job to do, places to go, people to see.
It's all, there's no spaces between any of those words. So he, and
basically also too, like Floronic Man's like, this is coke's like everywhere here, guys.
Yeah, I do like how Floronic Man calls everybody meat.
Yeah, that's the other thing about him. Like, he's so into plants that he just calls.
Well, yeah, he's a servant of the green.
He's a servant of the green. That's right, he is. That's right. Yeah, it makes sense.
They mentioned in here.
And he just, he just straight up calls all humans meat.
Yeah, he doesn't like them. He calls them meat. So, after Snowflame wins, he's like, here's my roving death squad who's going to kill you. So, they just, open fire on all these heroes and they all fall down.
Yep.
But obviously they're not dead.
They're not dead, but then, they're dead.
So then we cut back to, I guess, a couple days ago, where the whole team is getting seen by a doctor.
Yes.
So Harbinger and Jet and Wizard Guy were in a fight with some villain called Hemoglobin? Hemogoblin, thank you.
Hemoglobin's an actual thing.
Yeah, I know, but that's why I was like, wait, what is it called? The Hemogoblin.
Quote, Hemogoblin.
Now, I don't know, I'm assuming it is obviously blood-based. I don't know exactly what he was doing, but he had AIDS.
So, and I guess they're fighting him.
And now they might have AIDS.
And they're fighting him, and I guess the way that this makes it sound is, as they were fighting him, he died of AIDS while fighting them.
Yeah, which I don't know how he would continue to fight while dying from late-stage AIDS, but okay.
He's like, AIDS dead.
AIDS dead. Because he probably should have been too weak to get up. Of course, remember, this is in 1988.
I have a question.
Yes?
Is this comic book what Hillary Clinton was referring to about discussion of AIDS being around during the Reagan era? Is this what she was referring to?
No, because she should have really mentioned how the Reagan era fucking White House stuck their head in the sand and pretended AIDS wasn't a problem because it was attacking the gay community.
I'll only tell you, Ronnie had nothing to do with this one.
No,
You was too busy eating jelly beans while this was coming out.
It was one of his, like the health minister or something, and I can't remember exactly what his name is, but he was like, no, it's important that everybody know, and he, like, made pamphlets out and, like, got the word out about how important it was to beware of AIDS and, like, inform people what it was and how to protect yourself and stuff.
Mm.
So, but, yeah, if it was up to the Reagans, they would never have talked about it.
Yeah, lucky he wasn't reading this at the time.
Yeah.
But granted, it was October 1988, so he was already on his way out.
He was on, and he had Alzheimer's at this point, so he wouldn't have remembered reading this anyway.
Oh, yeah, okay.
So,
all right, well,
yeah, it's fine.
Yeah. Good talk.
So,
our podcast has a lot of AIDS references.
It sure does.
I mean, granted,
but in fairness, this actually mentions AIDS. Usually we just bring it up.
This is pretty much like 90% AIDS. Or like 50% AIDS.
So I have a question. Do you think, we grew up, we were children in the 80s and 90s. We grew up at a time when, like, AIDS was this very scary thing where a bunch of people were dying and whatever. And then drugs came into play and Magic Johnson is still alive. And now it is a manageable condition. Do you think people our age make more jokes about AIDS than, like, somebody who is either older or younger than us?
I think so.
But, like generational?
I think so, only because we're...
Just because we grew up with the fear of it, so now we joke about it?
Yeah. No, we lived through it. The craziness, and it's still obviously a very big problem, and... it needs...
But now it is a manageable health condition.
Yeah, but it's still an awful thing.
It's still an awful thing, but people aren't dying within, like, 6 months and shit like they were dying in the 80s. So, it's not as horrible, but still bad.
Yeah.
So anyway, something happened where, I don't know, he bled on them, I don't know what happened.
He was an AIDS vampire. Okay.
Oh, he was a vampire. Did he bite them?
He might have bit them. He might have bled on them. It might have been some sort of, just obviously being an AIDS vampire, you probably don't really give a shit about how things are going on there. So you're kind of, I don't know, because I'd have to read the book,
right,
to really find out.
So yeah, I mean, the thing is they have to exchange body fluid somehow. He can't just, like, bleed onto closed skin and they're going to get AIDS. That doesn't work.
Well, I don't know.
So
like I said, I don't know if you.
They are going to get AIDS. So they're at the doctor and they're like, well, it's actually too early to tell even though you've been exposed. So just keep an eye on it because this is probably before they had all those, like, emergency cocktails and stuff.
Right.
Like, emergency workers. So they're obviously really upset because this is 1988. And so
I can tell you right now, do you want a spoiler alert?
No one gets AIDS?
No.
They all get AIDS?
No. Oh. Well, she died. Heartbreaker doesn't get AIDS. Jet gets AIDS. But she doesn't apparently die from it, like, because basically what happens is the New Guardians eventually, I think at some point, like, Guy Gardner shows up to, like, try to, like, lead them, and he gets thrown into the water, and then, like, some villain, like, blows up their building or something, so they're all, like, they exist still, but then they all, like, die.
Yeah.
And, like, Jet apparently, was still sticking around, and whatever this guy is, Wizard Boy. So apparently they according to the DC Wiki, and this is kind of weird because I feel it's almost kind of it's kind of weird the way it's written because they're like, well, he was the first gay superhero. Mm-hmm. Because the way he dressed very flamboyantly.
He's a wizard.
I know, that's the thing. They're like, first of all, he's very, but they go, well, they weren't, but where he's diagnosed with AIDS, but we're not sure if he got it before fighting this guy or after. And I'm like, he fought an AIDS vampire. Because they're trying to imply this. Well, since I feel like,
since he was gay, we don't know.
Yeah,
is that how it was trying to?
I feel like that's the way it's written, and
I think it's ridiculous that they say he dresses flamboyantly. He's a fucking wizard. They all do.
And it's like he should be. I would be weirded out if he. I'm actually, if anything,
does Doctor Strange have a dresses flamboyantly note in his wiki?
And he's got a sweet. Well, no, he probably Doctor Strange has like a friggin'.
He's got a puffy shirt.
Puffy shirts, and he's making hand gestures, and I mean,
look at fucking Dr. Fate. He's got a helmet, cape, shiny.
Very shiny. This guy is just dressed like and he's. I think I'll tell you something though. At least he's not dressed like Zatanna or Zatara.
True.
He's dressed like a crazy wizard.
Like a wizard, like I expect wizards.
And they kind of imply this because they're telling them about.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
So they're explaining this. All the doctors are explaining all this stuff. And wizard guy is like, "Oh, sounds like deja vu for me."
Well, and this is where I kind of I didn't take that as deja vu for him personally, because at first I was like, that's kind of weird, and then I was like, is he like a psychic? But then when we flip to the next page where it starts, he's narrating, and it's like, T-cell count, blah, 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 blah. He's like, now they're dealing with things that, my community's been dealing with for years.
Yeah.
That's how I took that. Instead of like,
that's what I meant.
Deja vu for me, as in like, so he's watched so many of his friends go through this, so he knows what's happening.
And also what's going on too is like, they're talking how it's potential that, because these people, these guardians are supposed to procreate and, pass along their powers and all this stuff, to the, future generations and stuff. And they basically, are telling them like, well, your kids could have AIDS.
Well, yeah.
If you have AIDS.
But why did they pick like an ent and a computer man? So let's look at all the dudes that these people are supposed to procreate with. You've got a guy who's basically nothing but circuitry.
Yeah.
You've got a guy who is a tree, and you have a gay man.
Yeah.
And you have 3 women.
You have 3 women.
Who are these women supposed to procreate with? Because I'm going to say Circuit Man probably can't procreate, Tree Man probably can't procreate, and the other guy's gay.
I don't think he wants to procreate with humans.
He doesn't want to sleep with these ladies. I mean, unless they want to do, like, IVF or something.
Well,
that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Why would you pick those 3 dudes if you want people to be fucked?
Well, there's a good reason why this book got canceled. Anyway, so basically they're upset. They're talking. So we'll kind of go. There's a lot.
They're sad and whatever, and they leave the doctor's office. They go to an airport, and they run into a dude. We don't know who this dude is.
It says Agent Twirlinger.
Yeah, I don't care who that guy is. Nobody.
So basically,
knows.
he's like their government, like a government liaison for them, and they're like, "Well, we want to go and beat up the guy that could have gave us AIDS because apparently it's some sort of like South African warlord or something, or some sort of South African politician."
Yeah.
And
they're like, no.
He's like, no, but if you go beat up Snowflame for me.
Yeah, you gotta go bust this drug lord down in Colombia instead.
You gotta go fight the drug war.
And he's like, oh, okay. So that's how they end up there. So then we cut back to them right before they're getting shot. Now, this part really, I don't understand.
Oh, that's right. I forgot to mention.
What the fuck is happening?
He's got like a psychic.
No, I want to explain what it says. It says, so Wizard Guy has Betty, the cosmic aborigine with whom I share a soul.
Yeah, he's linked to her because they also threw her the Guardians with Zamaronians or the Beefaronians threw her in too.
But she looks like a tree woman in that drawing.
I know she does. It doesn't make sense.
She's got she's a head of lettuce with a face.
She's living lettuce.
I thought why is she a cosmic aborigine? What the fuck is happening in this book?
I don't know. I don't think nobody knows.
Damn it. There's AIDS and fucking cosmic aborigine lettuce people and cocaine man. And a man literally powered by cocaine. I cannot say that enough. This man is powered
it's not just
by cocaine.
It's not just implied. It is so overtly stated.
I got my powers from cocaine, is what this dude is saying. So anyway, luckily they've been warned. They know they're not going to die, so they all pretend to die.
Or no, what happens is, so there's this juice here, this green gook, is being created by Gloss, because she has a way to wrap themselves in some sort of bulletproof, some sort of energy that could prevent them from doing that.
Bulletproof moss.
Bulletproof moss.
So then, those guys are like, haha, we're going to bury their bodies. So they dig a grave. They're in the grave. Now, these are the roving death squad.
Yeah.
And Gloss, buries them alive.
Yeah, they're good heroes.
And they die.
Oh, yeah.
So they just killed like 4 dudes for doing nothing but their jobs. So good job, guys.
Yeah, these are good heroes.
And like,
also, not just for mature readers.
No, she just killed somebody. Like, she just killed a bunch of people by burying them alive, and then she was like, isn't that awesome? And the Ent guy's like, yeah, I can't smell the meat anymore. And they, like, basically, like, high five and chest bump or whatever.
That's right. Yeah, he's like, no meat.
Yeah, smells like green again. And so then they were like, well, let's do our mission, so let's go find Snowflame.
Let's go, like, do things we're supposed to.
Who's got, like, this great house in the middle of the jungle that's, like, got a wall, and basically inside the wall is just, like, really hot people doing cocaine. So it's, like, Las Vegas. It's, like, I'm going to assume it's the Palms, maybe, like, the pool area of the Palms. What's, like, the trendy place to be in Las Vegas? The Palms? The area? Aria?
Terribles.
Cosmopolitan? Yes, Terribles is the trendy place to be.
South Point Casino, wherever the fuck that is.
The Golden Nugget?
Golden Nugget. Circus, guys.
Basically anywhere where really hot chicks in bikinis and, like, swole dudes hang out is...
Well, actually, it's not even that. They're just a bunch of schlubs, and it just happens to be some women in bikinis here.
No, Snowflake's pretty swole.
Well, he's like
jacked and
he's
shit.
like Magneto strong.
Yeah, and like he basically looks like a Magneto on cocaine.
Yeah. You're not wrong.
This is Magneto if he had just gotten into drugs.
What if Magneto was?
Yeah, where is that? What if Marvel one? What if Magneto was a drug lord?
What if Magneto got hooked on coke and it's just like Wolverine be like, I don't care, bub, and like. Magneto just like a bunch of cocaine floating around like his magnetic bubble, and he just looks like this.
Yeah.
Anyway, so they land. They jump in an ambush.
Yeah.
And
they're like, all right, it's time to fight. And like the Snowflake, literally, this is the best picture I think I've ever seen in the comic book.
Oh yeah.
He is basically like Al Pacino in Scarface. And he's sitting in front of a giant pile of cocaine, and he just takes 2 goddamn handfuls, and he shoves it in his face. He's like, sniff, sniff.
Yeah, he fucking devours this cocaine.
Yeah.
And because it makes his white flame power fucking juice up, and now he's, he just keeps calling himself a god.
It's like when Mario gets a star.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
just imagine, like, actually, imagine the entirety of this.
It's just Mario with a star.
But not only that. Okay,
just assume all stars are cocaine the next time you play some Mario.
Mario's got a white mustache for the rest of the game. He's like,
Can Here we go.
Here we go. He does. He's doing mushrooms. He's doing everything.
And then he's
doing all the drugs.
He is doing all the drugs. Cocaine,
there's plants in there. Yeah. I mean,
he's obviously on acid. I mean, he's seeing like all these plants are like Venus flytraps and shit. So, I mean, Mario, he's got some problems.
Mario is fighting the drug war.
That's the thing. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe Mario is just a union guy, plumber, who hates his job, so he takes all the drugs so he can get through his day by pretending he is a video game
because he's got to stick his hand in the toilets in New York City.
Yeah, gross.
Or he's got, he's got to clean up after, fucking Koopas and shit.
Well, maybe that's what he calls his clients. They're just Koopas.
He calls them Koopas.
Yeah, maybe that's what.
You're all a bunch.
See, that's the thing. That's the hidden...
That sounds really racist, actually, if you think about it.
Yeah.
If you're referring it to it as you're calling a bunch of people Koopas, it sounds like it could be potentially racist.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they do call. Aren't there Goombas in there too? And that is
there's Goombas. Goombas. Actually, that's straight up racist.
That is straight up racist.
And Mario's Italian.
Yes, he is. He is my people.
This is a good discussion we're having.
It's a great discussion, but I'm just saying, like, what if that's the hidden history of Mario?
Yeah.
And that's like, if you were gonna do like a gritty reboot of Mario, it would just be like a dude doing drugs.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Frank Miller version.
Princess Daisy's a hooker.
Of course she is.
She would have to be.
Yeah, because whores.
Anyway, so this big fight breaks out, and it's a Snowflame, and he's all coked up, and then the rest of his...
Apparently all of his friends are coked up, too.
Yeah, because the Jet is like... She's like, they're all coked up, man,
Yeah. But apparently, like, Ant-Man, if he is touched by these people, he absorbs their cocaine. Like, he just, all of it?
Because he's basically made of plants.
Yeah, but...
You know, he's got very...
But he absorbs all of it. He's like a
skin.
fucking sponge.
Yeah.
So, the minute that starts happening, he's like, oh, look at your green eyes. And then, like, Gloss...
He's like, I'm high, motherfucker, I'm high!
Yeah, and Gloss is like, I can take that out of you, so I'll remove it from you if you remove it from these guys.
Yeah.
So that's basically, so he goes around touching him and she starts pulling the cocaine out of him. So very weird.
It's a very weird way of stopping a fight.
Yeah, so that's happening, and then Ram and Snowflame, like, jump in the pool while that's going on. And I don't know what happens next.
Oh, they just start fighting each other.
Well, they're fighting.
Because basically Ram, you know, got embarrassed, you know, got
he was
beat
upset.
down by Snowflame in the first place.
So he was pissed off. He had to, like, reclaim his honor or whatever. And so they jump back out of the pool. They're fighting, and then Ram punches Snowflame into the chemical shed. Yeah. Which is apparently where they are manufacturing meth because it explodes.
Yeah.
And
yeah, it's like Breaking Bad.
Yeah, it's like Breaking Bad. And
I've never seen the show.
I'm assuming it's a meth lab. So it's and the guy dies, and
yeah, apparently
I don't understand why that guy died if it was just cocaine, but apparently he's making meth.
And it's funny because well, not funny, but it just gets really like heavy-handed because they're like,
that's why you should do all that.
Because so after that happens, and then what's his face? Whatever, dude, the magician man is like, he's like, oh man, yeah, man, you know, I'm glad my magic spared me from being hurt, but you hope, you know, my cape can't say as much because it's got all this coke in it. Am I right?
Yeah, they're like, I'm never gonna get this white powder out of my cape.
And then so Harbinger gets really mad because, you know, she might have AIDS.
Right.
She gets like...
And she's also wearing metal underwear, which I can only imagine...
yeah, that's right. She's got a metal...
extremely uncomfortable for the old vagina. That shit needs to breathe. So she, like, flies off. Yeah, she flies off. You know, and she's like, well, some of us are going to die, you know, AIDS. And she flies off, and they're like, well... AIDS. And then for some reason, like... The coke addicts that were there are like... They're like, you showed us the error of our ways. I'm like, okay. And you're the true gods. Please help us. And then we don't even know. And then nothing happens. Oh, yeah. And then, like, Wizard Man just goes to, like, stand in the forest and, like, look at plants. Because he's having a think. Yeah. And then that's the end. He's thinking about, you know, whatever. But, okay. However, the next issue. It's called... Is L.A. Burning? Question mark? I'm assuming it usually is. To be honest, yes, it is. Yeah, it probably is. We live here. Fucking LA. We live here, and sometimes... the answer is yes. The answer is literally yes. The answer is yes, all the time. If you're ever like, is LA on fire? The answer is yes. If some of you watch the news, you're like, LA's on fire again, you'll be like, oh yeah. Because it's like, by LA, I mean like all the surrounding areas. Yeah. You know, the fucking... County. The Santa Ana area, whatever, the fucking, you know... brush fires. Yes. To answer this question, yes. Would you read that issue? I don't know. This book is batshit, so I kind of might. This book is batshit, but I don't necessarily like it. That's the thing. I don't know if I would want to read it because it's weird and like I don't know. I don't know. If I found it, you know, maybe if I had it for a quarter. Well, you can get it for a quarter, but I'd rather spend my quarters on something else that I'd actually might want to read. Yeah. I wouldn't want to spend it all on these and then have to be... I'm actually kind of bummed, to be honest with you, because I had made this issue when I'd heard about it. The fact that there was a goddamn villain who makes one single appearance, who is fueled by cocaine. Well, I mean, you really can't think he's going to get past an issue, be a recurring guy in like in other books, too, you know? No, somebody needs to bring him back. Like, I'm kind of disappointed that was his one and only appearance. Well... Snowflame. Cocaine. Snowflake or... Snowflake. He's a cocaine-powered villain. It's about time. A villain for the 80s, if there ever was. It really is.
But that's it for this. And I wouldn't read. I don't know.
You should have been a stockbroker.
I would not read probably this next one. I mean, I am maybe intrigued if LA is burning. Why is it burning?
Because it's LA.
Maybe they'll talk about a place where I live or I go to eat lunch. But other than that, nah, I'm not really into it. So, sorry, New Guardians. I won't be buying you again.
Yeah.
I do like this burnout Superman. It's just Superman sitting in a chair looking...
Really man-spreading. Just his legs are so far apart.
So there was this episode of... what the fuck was it? Comic Book Men. Where they're like, some guy tried to sell a painting of Superman, and he claimed it was the first and most rendered...
Oh, yeah, I remember that issue.
Rendered version of Superman's crotch.
Yes.
And, he sold it for like...
I remember that.
I don't know if he sold... I don't know what the fuck it was. But,
yeah, he sold it, but I don't remember what he sold it for. But he was like, this is a really lovingly... I pick up drawn crotch.
I would beg to disagree because Superman...
That's crotch.
That is... Superman's got some crotch here.
Again, this is one of those crotch first.
Yeah.
And spreading. Look at taking up all the room. Like, I don't understand why... Like, that can't be comfortable.
Yeah, what? He's having a hard day.
He is.
This is the shit going down with Gangbuster and whatever. Yeah, so he's having issues.
He's having a hard day.
So anyways, that's it for New Guardians. The New Guardians, number 2 from October 1988. That does it for our show this week.
Yeah.
Thank you for listening. I know that folks out there are listening, and I feel like we complain about it a lot, that people may not listen or may not listen, whatever, but I'm down. I know you folks out there appreciate the show, and it's we'll keep doing it. I'm not want to be one of those people who's like, nobody's listening, I don't want to do it. So we'll just keep doing it because we have lots of comic books, and we gotta justify this. We gotta justify owning all these books. We will continue the disaster,
this nightmare that we've gotten ourselves into.
This life nightmare that we have.
Yeah, this nightmare from which we will not wake or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're not going anywhere, even if it gets,
Yeah, I can't wait to be 90 and doing this show. Oh, let me tell you about Batman issue 9000.
We're reading New Guardians number 3.
Hopefully by then they'll make them in giant print so we can see them. Because by then I'm assuming we're gonna need like the big print. You know how they make like big print crossword puzzles? We're gonna need big print comic books.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Gotta think about their aging audience.
Yeah, they're gonna be harder to store though.
Yeah,
much bigger.
Well, I'm assuming by that point, actually, maybe we won't even need to read them. Maybe we can just download them directly into our brain.
Oh, that'd be great.
Yeah, that'd be great. So we're just like, oh, all right, yeah, read it.
Yeah.
Now it's in there, though. Now I can't fucking get rid of it.
Oh, that's fine. I'll take it to the grave.
How do you delete files that are in your brain?
I'll keep it, whatever. It's here.
Yeah. Did you run out of storage? Do you have to get, like, an external brain?
Oh, where does that USB go? I can never get it in right the first time. It always hurts. Wah, wah. Okay, well, that's it for this week's show. Thanks for listening. You can find me on Twitter. I'm Shawn, and I'm at Angry Hero Shawn, SHAWN. That's on Twitter. That's on Instagram, and my Tumblr, theangryhero.tumblr.com.
And I'm at Jen Stansfield on Twitter and Instagram, jenstansfield.tumblr.com, and jenstansfield.wordpress.com.
And, of course, SideshowNetwork.tv is where you can find all the fine shows. This is part of the network that we are part of. Mm-hmm. We just launched the Greatest Show on Grass, which is a LA Rams podcast. Yes, the LA Rams are coming back to LA, and we have a guy that's really into them, and he's going to talk to you about them every other week, so that's awesome. And then we also have Reductress. Mouth Time with Reductress is launching actually tomorrow after you hear this episode. So you should definitely check that out. Reductress is a very funny site. And now they have a podcast with us because Sideshow Network is fantastic. All right, folks, thanks for listening, and we'll talk to you again soon.
Bye.